Welcome to the Movie Club Emporium, and this, the beginning of our Halloween horror month. This month, we are talking about films based on the works of one Clive Barker. However, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. We are neither talking Hellraiser nor Nightbreed. Those have been talked to death. No, we are talking about the more underrated Clive Barker adaptation, starting with his most infamous 1986's Rawhead Rex. This one is directed by George Palo, who get used to him because we will talk about him next week as well. This one is written by Clive Barker, not only the story, but the screenplay. However, he hates the movie. Not so much because of the same reasons why Stephen King dislikes Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, more because he's not a fan of the acting in the film. And also the creature design. We'll get to Rawhead Rex here in a moment. This movie stars David Dukes and Kelly Piper, and a whole bunch of just a whole lot of English and Irish people. We have an American writer who takes his family to this weird little Irish village. He's researching pagan religions, and he finds an old church with like the most like metal stained glass you'll ever see in your life. Where we introduced to the myth of Rawhead Rex. Also, there's a priest who is into water sports, which is a weird part of this movie, but knowing Clive Barker's writing, that checks out. And you have this monster run amok in this village, eating people. Now, the thing about the monster is, why Clive Barker hates it so, is in the novel. I don't think it's a novel, it's a story. And it's in one of the books of blood. I'm not sure which one. Rawhead Rex is a 9-foot tall, very skinny creature with a large phallic head that looks very beaten up to the point where he looks like hamburger meat. It's described. He's just a big old dickhead. You do yourself a favor and Google what Rawhead looks like. It's insane. However, in the movie, he kind of looks like a mixture of Nemesis from Resident Evil Apocalypse, as well as a member of Kiss mid-werewolf transformation. This movie is not great. It's kind of dumb, but it has so much weird going on. I really recommend checking it out. Mostly, maybe do this as a double feature with Ken Russell's Lair of the White Worm, just these weird English horror films. The creature looks super stupid. He looks like a Ninja Turtle villain. But it's just so bizarre. It's so weirdly gory. And there's there's so much weirdness in this movie. It's insane that this is kind of one of the first Clive Barker adaptations. I know he's still in the middle of Books of Blood. I'm not sure if he'd written Hellbound Heart at this stage yet. But what a weird one to start with. I mean, well, I say that. I can't remember if this one is first technically or next week's episode. I will tell you this movie has a huge following. So much so that there is a 4K restoration of it from Kino Lorber you can pick up. I have just a regular Blu-ray because I don't need to see this movie in high definition. Um, yeah, it's just it's kind of imagine like Pumpkinhead meets, you know, big penis monster, and you've got Rawhead Rex. There's not a whole lot to talk about without getting to super spoilers. It is an interesting Halloween checkout though. Um, and it does go places where a lot of movies like this maybe wouldn't have. And if you know anything about Clive Barker's writing, you know that he is very famous for pushing horror in ways that, especially at the time, in the public eye, horror wasn't going. Obvious with with the Cenobites and stuff, but we will not be talking about the Cenobites, I promise. Next week, though, we're going to be talking about uh, the same director and same writer, Clive Barker wrote. I think he wrote that screenplay as well. That movie notoriously has two titles, and so you know it's going to be twice as good. Uh, Known, I'm not sure where as Transmutations, but here in the good old US of A, it is known as Underworld. Not the Kate Beckinsale one. We'll get your hopes up. This is Underworld from 1986, is what we'll be discussing next week. So join me as we take another deep dive into the world of Clive Barker and enjoy the Halloween horror month and read a good book. Read some good books. Um, there's plenty. I would recommend, knowing this is the first of the month and you've got a while to get it in. Nick and I are going to be talking about another very famous horror writer at the end of this month when we do our October Hangout Live. We're going to be talking about Stephen King's The Stand, both television adaptations plus the failed and future movie adaptations. So if you're looking for something to read, I don't know, you might have time, and you hope you're a quick reader because that's a chunky book. But you don't want to miss that. And then join me next week as we dive into Clive Barker's Underworld. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.